Why do we ask why? Well, you might ask me, why are you asking why we ask why? I could ask you the same thing. Why are you asking me why I'm asking why we ask why? At this point, I've been speaking for less than 20 seconds and your brain is already overheating. But do you see how I could go into a potentially endless series of whys? The question why can form a golden ratio. Endless. Beautifully endless. No other question can do that. Where do you ask where? Who do you ask who? How do you ask how? When do you ask when? Could all be asked once, leaving almost no room, if not none at all, to be repeated again. But why do you ask why? Could go on forever. Don't believe me? I'll prove it to you. Pretend I'm asking a friend of mine a series of questions, and based on the answer they give me, I'll keep asking why. Why are you here? To attend TED. Why are you attending TED? Your friend is speaking. Why is your friend speaking? They applied to be in the club. Why did they apply to be in the club? To be better at public speaking. Why did they want to be better at public speaking? Shy type है. Shy type क्यों है? Their parents raised them to be better listeners than speakers. Why better listeners than speakers? The world is too selfish and caught up in their own mess. Okay, but why? I mean, I don't have a solid answer, but okay, let's stop there. We've reached what I call the grey zone. The grey zone is what I define as a place where you could ask a why and find multiple answers and they'd all work, or a place where finding a concrete answer is difficult. Now that you have a headache, allow me to present you 10 reasons as to why I think we ask why. First and foremost, confusion, one of the simplest human traits behind questioning, and what you thought of when I said, why do we ask why? 2. Curiosity. Not as simple as confusion, but a little bit of research could get you what you're looking for. 3. Why is a backpack? Why perfectly encompasses all questions. Asking why can lead to answering the what, when, where, who, and how, all at the same time. Number 4. I'm lazy and so are you. Let's say my mother tells me to put my dishes in the sink, and I'm way too lazy to do so. I'll ask her why. If she can't give me a logical enough reason as to why, that is if she doesn't give me first, I've found the answer to my question because she doesn't have one. I can save myself some work and continue being lazy. 5. To get to the bottom of things. As we saw earlier, asking a series of very simple whys can answer very complex questions. 6. To cure boredom. Now this is a dangerous one if I'm being very honest. Asking philosophical questions in your free time can leave you with a very confusing statement till the end of time. 7. Insubordination. This applies to me very strongly. I like to be in control, so naturally I have some trouble accepting authority. And one way I act out is to ask why when given an instruction. 8. Ego. Very similar to my previous one. Your ego refuses to believe you can be smaller or lesser than someone else, so you ask why to challenge them. Number 9. Some random chick at TED asked why do we ask why, and now you can't get your brain to shut up. Since I've successfully driven you all insane, I think it's time I tell you about how I drove myself insane. So let me paint you a little picture. I woke up in the middle of the night, sweaty, bothered, disturbed, uneasy, couldn't fall asleep whatsoever, and this scared me. Why? If I didn't fall asleep, I'd start walking around and fall. Fall. I'd start walking around mentally and fall down the rabbit hole, which is my own mind. Why am I so afraid of my thoughts? Because these are the kind of thoughts I have. Thoughts that nag me till I give them my full attention, and then eventually they feed on my brain, they take the energy out of me, they consume me. So what was I supposed to do? Neend aani hi nahi thi. So I meditated. I used to hate meditating because I couldn't get my brain to shut up. That was until my mom taught me that's exactly what meditation was about. You sit and you let your thoughts run by and you feel cleaner after. That's exactly what I did. I let my thoughts run past me. All different shapes, sizes, colors, velocities. The scene was galactic looking almost. One of those thoughts was why do we ask why? And I couldn't stop looking at it. Which brings me to my 10th and final reason, to fill a void. Your brain feels empty sometimes. What I mean by this is, there's no masala. Where's the cool deep thoughts, the ones that you can't answer with a Google search? Ask a why and keep asking till you find your masala. Asking why do we ask why was mine, and it left my tongue on fire. I knew this fire could only be put out if I answered the question, so I chased it. I was running for hours, and guess what? I am still running. My legs are getting tired, my foot is stamping, my heart might explode. But the problem is, I'm never going to catch why do we ask why till I find an answer. I've been searching for an answer for months now, and I haven't found one yet. But I did manage to figure out 2% of my personality. Number 1, curiosity. I was always a curious child, and I still ask questions out of curiosity. The only difference is, being curious has larger repercussions. So now I tend to keep my questions between me, myself, and I. My ego, it's fat. It's huge. Whenever someone questions me, I ask them why until they're unable to question me back. Similar to my ego, in subordination. As I mentioned earlier, I like being in control and have trouble accepting authority. One way I choose to act out when given an instruction is to ask why. Asking why makes me feel like I have the right to my voice and I'm not completely under authority. But one situation where I surrender all my control is when I ask questions. I will ask a question and then bolt myself down to the bone till I find an answer. I will let the question control me as long as I find an answer. After hearing what I just said, I think you can tell saying I don't know is incredibly difficult for me. There have been times before when I've had to say it, and it's insane how difficult I found it. Why do we ask why is one of the few questions I know I can't answer, and I'm telling you that today. I don't know. You just heard me say, I don't know, something I find extremely difficult. Saying that, I felt my ego shattered, and that's the last thing this question taught me about myself. Asking questions quenches my curiosity, breaks my ego because I'm asking the question for I don't already have the answer, holds me under control because I'm not going to stop working till I find an answer to my own question, and lastly, pushes me to admitting I don't know, pushes me to lose control, pushes me to exist in the unknown. Asking why do we ask why has been one of the most painful but enriching experiences for me. It only made me grow as a person. Answering a question that questions the existence of questions is practically impossible. So I guess I'm just going to keep asking, why do we ask? Thank you.